Alright guys, welcome back to another Strivemont video. We're going to do a couple stock recaps, do some technical analysis, and if you guys do find any value in these videos, you know the routine, hit the like, hit the sub. And now let's get into it, starting off with Tesla. We're going to go over where we saw the current breakout happen, drawing it out right here. We're seeing this pendant, or possibly a nice looking bull flag, and then we broke out of it over here, and as you guys can see, we gapped up. And normally one thing you guys want to take note of when it comes to gaps is most likely they are to get filled. Now depending on how good the news are, gaps could be left unclosed and the stock could shoot potentially even higher and possibly even not even like fill the gap for a long time. But if the news is pretty much mediocre, what happens is, as you guys can see in Tesla, is we trade sideways a little bit and then we come back and then we basically close the gap over here, and then we've been trading in this range ever since. So now we're gonna basically go over the range which we've been stuck in, which is around 620 and then that 700 level. And then now currently we are testing the previous breakout level. One thing I do want to talk about is we saw a double top over here. So we got rejected once, second time we came downwards, and then we had pretty much good earnings for the stock to go retest that previous resistance. And as you guys can see, we finally broke out of it right here. But now what it looks like the stock is doing is testing that breakout level to establish it as a new support level before advancing upwards. One thing we could also outline as well is this is the possible creation of a new channel in the making. So we might be trading in a new range over here, and we might be heading upwards to retest this high over here, which is 780. So this is a good gain, guys. This is a good stock to go into right now. We're looking about 12% if it does play out well. As you guys also know, AI week is coming up, so we could expect a lot of hype to come in. However, this might be a sell the news event. We're not sure yet, but play it safe, play how you want. That's my analysis on Tesla. Now, the next stock is going to be NIO. And as NIO also heads into earnings, we could expect it to go either up or down. And you're probably like, yeah, no duh. But let's take a look so you guys know where to, keep your eye out for, what levels. Alright, so as we head into earnings, right now we're trading in this level, which is basically 38.57. I'd say around here, which is around $50, is where we're basically trading in range. So right now we're starting to coil up. As you guys can see, we're seeing resistance over here and higher lows over here. So most likely when earnings come, we could expect a nice movement where it could either test this 55.05 level where we saw resistance over here, or if we get that bad news, most likely we're going to break below this level, which was our current support, and then have a possible double bottom around 38.57. So if it does break down, this might be a good position to start entering in NIO stock. Or what could happen, if you wait a little bit longer before adding into your position, we might even trade lower into this range over here, which is around $30 to $38. So we'll see where the range hits as we head into earnings. I wouldn't play the earnings unless you're very certain of how the company is most likely to do. But let's wait until after to see what goes on. However, if it is good, we could expect a nice fly upwards to test this previous high over here, possibly even break out to retest the all-time highs. So stay tuned for NIO earnings. It is coming up very shortly. And now the next stock we're going to go into is QuantumScape. And one thing I want to talk about is the infrastructure bill. I think a lot of money is going to be distributed into batteries, EVs and whatnot. So most likely QuantumScape might be one of those stocks to have a rally. Unfortunately, the earnings didn't go as we expected. We looked like we were about to break out of this level over here, but there was a lot of insider selling, and unfortunately it brought the stock back down. So as you guys can see, we had a double top over here, and now if we outline this current resistance, it looks like we are on the blink of a breakout over here, where we're going to be testing the level of 24.50. Let's get that in right here. This is where we've been seeing a lot of resistance in the double top here, and that's a double top here. So we might break out of this range finally, and if we do get out of that range, we could see finally that test to around $30 to 32.50 for the retest on the previous resistance. So that's QuantumScape for you guys. I think it's very oversold at the moment. It is a speculative stock, but it's one of my favorites. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I like what they stand for and what they're trying to accomplish. It's up to you whether or not you trust your money going into a stock like this. At the end of the day, this is the most riskiest stock, at the same time high rewarding. So now the final stock is gonna be AMD, which had a huge rally. Now we're trying to figure out where it's gonna be finding its current support level at. As you guys can see, rallies like this always have to take a breather, right? When you have a huge run up, it needs a breather. But now we're trying to figure out where the stock is going to get that support. And one thing we can do is the Fibonacci retracements. So we'll take the all-time high of 122.49, bring it down to 73.50. Oh, sorry, 72.50. And right now, where I expect there to be some support and where the stock could start finding a footing after this sell-off over here, could be around this 9 moving average, or this possible 61.8% retracement around this level here, before advancing upwards or possibly consolidating for a bit. So one thing we also want to talk about when it comes to AMD's rallies, normally after the rally is done, it goes into a long-term consolidation. So the question is this stock done rallying or not? We're not sure. So I believe the news that broke out of this was not only the good earnings, but the partnership with Tesla. So I'm not sure if the XLNX deal is completed. If it is, leave it down in the comments. Let me know if that did get completed. But if that deal hasn't been completed yet, this stock definitely still has a lot to run upwards to possibly even go to around $150 and $150 levels. Not looking too crazy at this point, especially when you look at Nvidia's market cap. You can see where AMD could potentially be at. So I'm going to conclude it at that. Stay tuned of where AMD finds footing. I believe it's going to be around that 9 MA. As you guys can see, we did test it over here 2 times where the stock ended up fighting support. So watch out for the 9 MA. And these might be good entry points around here. And then the possible 61.8% retracement. And finally, I also want to talk about is the market. It is currently very scary to look at because it's been consistently going upwards. That being said, we might be getting close because as you guys can see, this channel came out pretty ugly, but it's whatever. As you guys can see over here, we are getting close to the top range of this channel over here. So we might be seeing some resistance, and looking at the RSI as well, we are getting a bit overbought. So if you are making plays, guys, you want to be very careful because we could see current pullback in the market. But you know, for my short-term day traders, these are great times to go in and out because there's going to be some explosive moves coming up very soon. So I'm going to end the video there. Let me know down below what other stocks you want me to look at. And if you did make it to the end of the video as well, drop a like and hit the sub. I'm out.